Hey, what's going on? Usually I'm trying to do the, we'll say, midweek vids on the outside, but we're going to pop in here just for a quick second. So every day I'm in checking the buckets and come in and I give them a wiggle to make sure that they feel like they are full of water, because when you look at it like this, you can't tell whether these tubes are feeding or not. So if it's heavy, there's water, obviously. So I went through, checked them all today, and this one here on the end, although it's not wilting, only one of the feeder lines were feeding. Went in, tried to tap it, didn't work. So what I ended up doing, and I just left this here so I could video it, is the roots will grow up in the tubes. You can see this is stopped up. So what I did is I just cut this part off, and then this much root was hanging out of the end, and I pulled out basically 4.5 inches, 5 inches of root that grows up into the feeding tubes. So who knows how many days that's taken to grow. But this is why I have to check it every day. If not, then you're going to lose plants. I'm not going to do any more updates in here because nothing's really changed outside of this, because I didn't trim it or I didn't get it clipped up. This is now broke, so I need to come in and cut that off. But that was just hanging out way in the middle of the greenhouse anyways. So outside stuff, what I did is I took some Sustane, I think it's 464, and some of the sea mineral. It's not sea salt, sea mineral, as Gardening with Leon likes to keep mentioning. It's not sea salt. I'll see if I can put a picture link to the Sustane and the sea mineral and try to insert an iCard, because it will let me insert an iCard to another channel here, and we'll put Gardening with Leon's one of his videos, actually the one he just did a couple days ago, kind of explains the new variations of basically a self-wicking tub. I'm using totes. He uses these buckets that they use for cattle and other things for feeding them. He gets from farmers and whatnot. But anyways, it doesn't matter. Either you cut a barrel in half and you do something like this, or do a tote. It doesn't really matter. It's just you're using a container and you have some stuff that takes up air in the bottom. Then when you fill it up, it holds the water. Then you have the potting mix on top. You can't use dirt, it has to be potting mix in order for the water to wick up from the bottom up. I did film a video. I never posted it because I didn't really play around with editing. Maybe I'll go back and show you how I built these. But again, Gardening with Leon and Arms Family Homestead have videos on actually how to do them in the mineral tubs is what they call them, where they get for the cattle. Anyways, so all of the onions, the carrots, I didn't do the strawberries, I didn't do the beans. Basically anything that was not in that's not in a self-wicking tub got the Sustane and the rock mineral, although I did put them in with these onions. But everything else, so the strawberries didn't get it, none of these tubs got it, corn didn't do it, but I tried to fertilize and give the radishes a shot, see if a week with the fertilizer on it. It's a slow release fertilizer. If that helped or not, we'll see. I see a couple things perking up, but these things are so old, I could have grown, in theory, radishes twice over already. Watermelon's starting to do its thing. Give it a couple more weeks, it's going to be growing over, and we'll hopefully see some baby watermelon soon. I just have to learn to trim the plants back, especially because there's just a small amount of dirt there in the tub. I probably only should have had maybe 2 plants, but I've got 4 in there. We'll see what happens. But after you get the watermelon showing up, you basically clip it on the other side. It's like, you know, I'm not trying to grow a whole watermelon patch. I chopped down most of the onions, as I think I discussed the other day. Some of these were a later batch, but look at these. So it's been, what, a week and a half since I chopped these. And you can see where some of it, I chopped them roughly even, and it's grown 6-8 inches in a week. And this, I chopped this, I don't know, less than a week ago. So you can see, and they were all cut at the same time. So it's just funny how, you know, like this one, it's barely growing, but this one, it's got 6 inches on it. So, then like I said, all of these got the regular fertilizer going on in there. I didn't fertilize the bean plants either because these are all in self-wicking tubs. And then everything that's in a self-wicking tub, I'm going to try to do it weekly. Give it a couple gallons in each tote or tub of the hydroponic solution, so that gets it a, you know, full nutrient regimen. The biggest thing that I noticed, I didn't really pay attention in the last video, so the corn, you can see it's starting to do its thing at the top. And let's see, what's my best way to get over here without tripping over stuff, is you can see some ears of corn starting on this one. So there's one there, and there's a baby one starting in there, because these are the oldest ones, and then there's other ones of varying age. So we'll see what happens. Tongues of fire, they're starting to get quite a few beans. I need to come in and pick these. These are getting pretty good size, and you can see these funky red stripes on them. It's kind of cool. This plant doesn't seem to climb, so I need to go back and look at the seeds. It may be a bush variety. This one that's climbing is the one of the only survivors of the Chinese long bean. So it's not going to produce much, but we'll see what happens. Then I've got the rattlesnake on this side, and there are some beans, but this one's not climbing much. Doesn't seem to be growing. I don't know if it's stunted. Oh, there we go. Now we've got some beans going on in there. It just took a couple of days. So check out the stripes on the rattlesnake. They're pretty good long flat bean. They're a little skinnier than the tongues of fire. Then these, I'm sorry, these are not the rattlesnakes. I'm looking at the little sign hiding back there. These are the dragon tongue beans. I had them backwards, so I have to remember alphabet wise. So these are the rattlesnake beans over here. Can't believe I had that backwards all this time. And I see some blossoms. I don't see any beans yet, so there's probably some babies in here hiding somewhere. I mean, there's lots of flowers going on, so let's give it a week or two and we'll see what happens. And then the snap peas and the pea pods, they're just dying out. They have plenty of water, but they look like, you know, I'm abusing them, which is not the case. But so I probably need to look at getting ready to replant those, and hope that they deal well with the heat. It's supposed to be like 90 degrees here today. And then strawberries. Oh look, there's a weed that I didn't pull. Strawberries are doing well. I just watered here on my break from work, so I figured I'd shoot a video real quick. Since I had the, there we go. There's a monster one hiding down there. That one looks really good. Looks store-bought, right? Yeah, so it looks like I need to pick some strawberries this afternoon. And yeah, they just keep going. So other than that, that's it for midweek. That's a horrible way to end the video. I talk about the grass. I don't water the grass. I rent. Water's a premium here in California, and this is basically what summer's like. I don't bother watering the grass. It just costs a mint to water it, and come fall it'll all come back. I've been here like 5 years. Does the same thing every year. My water bill goes towards the 275 gallon tote, which feeds the greenhouse. So like I said, that's it for this week. Thanks.